Something that I like to think of myself is that I am clairvoyant when it comes to music, fashion, pop culture, truly anything that needs clairvoyance. And there's sometimes in my channel where you may have witnessed it, whether it's my 2025 PR predictions or every time that I talk about an artist and their like new albums and stuff. I always in the end give some like PR predictions, and some of them happen to come true already. And I feel like it helped growing up as an introvert and spending all my alone time on social media and watching movies and TV shows and stuff, because it kind of like helped me build this intuition, if it can be built. I don't know. All to say, all this preface is me trying to convince you that I am not a sheep. Sometimes I am. When it comes to like some trendy things, I'm talking about you, Sunny Angels and Labubu's, I am not falling for you. But other things, like trendy things, like for example, this, I mean, it's not a real one, but it's a dupe Stanley from the dollar store because a bitch is on a budget. She's still unemployed. And yeah, there's some things where I like to be a sheeps and other I don't. And you know, you have to take my word for it. I cannot convince you to believe me. You only have to take my word for it. But before I unexpectedly, took a 3-month break, I was supposed to film and post a video on by the end of February talking about Benson Boone. Yikes. So I'll put a screenshot. I know it kind of means nothing. If like technically I could have made it right now and changed the date and pretend quote unquote that it's like since end of February. So that's why I'm like, you have to take my word for it, because even though I have a screenshot, it kind of means nothing. But I was supposed to talk about all the reasons why it's become popular to criticize him. And I feel like there's a lot. There's a lot. And just, let's start. Let's fucking start. Me getting angry. So I'm so fucking grateful that I'm not working at my retail job anymore, because I know that his fucking songs would have played all the fucking time during my shifts, to the point where I would have like talked to my boss and be like, hey, I quit. And she's like, why? And I'm like, Benson Boone. And she's like, huh? He's a singer. He's not even working there. And I'm like, well, it feels like it. Like, not to be shady at all, but his music is like good, but too fabricated, too the point where it's like, I know it's like H&M music. You know what I mean? I know like it's a type of music where I see like a grandma like listening to it, and I see a little kid listening to it, but I don't see like people my age listening to it. You know what I mean? And it's not to be mean. Like, I was a Benson Boone stan in the beginning when he auditioned for X Factor, and like his whole like, what's the song, Ghost Town performance and stuff. I was a fan. I was like, okay, this kid is going to go places. This kid, he's like a year younger than me, but you got a point. And I was super excited to see where his career was going. But to see that this is the direction that he chose, and I feel like his sudden rise to fame is kind of going to be not the end of his career, but it will have a huge negative impact on it. And truthfully, I strongly believe that the sole reason that Benson Boone is charting right now and he's like super popular and like playing at Coachella, by the way, crazy that he's not the headliner, but he's like the second or third name written under the headliner. Like, what do you mean? what do you, like, huh? You are not that well known to be like the second or third name written under the headliner. You know what I mean? And by this video, like, by the time this video got released, Coachella already, like, passed and stuff. But all I'm saying is that the sole reason the sole reason he is where he is right now, it's because men and pop aren't present. And I said it in a previous video, I don't remember which one. I think the Shawn Mendes video, where men and pop are literally, like, not even species endangered, they are exterminated, like, they aren't there, like. And I feel like because of that, Benson, it's the perfect moment for an artist like Benson to emerge and to release music, because there's no competition. And that's why he's like the second or third name written on the Coachella set list. That's why he has so many, one of the reasons at least why he has so many, like, fame and got so popular. And also because he is reheating Freddie Mercury's nachos and Harry Styles' nachos. Oh my, it sucks so much, because these are all arguments that I would have said and I would have posted back in the end of February as I planned to, but you know, you don't control burnouts, kind of, so. But yeah, I think it's so, his music and his artistry is so bland to me. Even more knowing that last year the girly pops literally ruled music. Beyonce, Taylor, Sabrina, Charlie, Billie, Dua, the list goes on. And for this year to have, like, Benson Boone as one of, like, the main pops right now who are releasing songs, it's, like, kind of deceiving. I don't want to be shady, but my problem, it's not that he kind of, like, is, like, so popular from, like, kind of nowhere, and he, like, kind of became, like, super famous, like, on a random Tuesday. That's not my problem, because it happened before. Like, for example, Billie, when she first was introduced to the music space, she kind of came out of nowhere, and she completely shocked, but in a good way, the public by her being so tomboyish and, like, releasing songs that are so sad, but she is so young. Like, she had a whole aspect of her that made her differentiate herself from the pop sphere that was back in the day, how the pop sphere was, and she is still to this day able to differentiate herself. Same thing for Olivia Rodrigo. She had her driver's license and a plan, and she fucking did that perfectly, with the whole purple aesthetic, with the whole backstory of already having, like, rumors and people talk on TikTok of, like, the whole love triangle, and her having a more, like, pop punk, pop rock influence. It was just, she added so much to the table. And for Benson, what are you adding? I'm waiting. Like, you are, the viewers are supposed to answer. What are you adding other than things that have already been done by Harry Styles and Freddie Mercury? You know? And I've also made a TikTok because he announced that he will be releasing an album soon. I think I'll post this TikTok. I don't know if it's a hot take or a proper take because I haven't seen anyone talk about it on TikTok, but Benson Boone just revealed his upcoming album cover, which is this one. So you see him, like, shirtless with a little bit of dirt, holding the American flag. Rubs me in the wrong way for two reasons. The first one, I feel like you releasing soon an album where you are holding so proudly the American flag in this political climate, I don't know. And that's from a Canadian girly. I'm not even American, and I'm like, not sure about it. But again, I guess it depends on your beliefs. I don't know. The only way I feel like it is quote unquote okay and right for him to hold the American flag is if he is planning to talk about the political climate right now. But I don't want to be shady, but I don't expect Benson Boone, the guy who's doing backflips on stage, to talk about the American political climate. If he does, though, I will be the first one to apologize for doubting him. But I feel like you can understand why I highly doubt that this will be the case. And by him being put with a lot of dirt and like blood and stuff, it is portrayed as Benson going through a lot bad and hard things in his life. But to be so honest and not to be shady at all, but what have you gone through as a straight white male? Considering again the political climate right now. So I still stand 10 toes down with everything that I've said because I'm not saying, by the way, that white straight men don't deserve to be like main pop artists. That is not what I'm saying at all. But like I said on my TikTok, like in the current state of the world in 2025, which I'm not American, but like I can see what's going on in fucking United States, and like I feel like it's, can you read the room, you know? And a little anecdote, I will not spill who this singer is because you'll know, but actually a singer liked this TikTok of mine, which is so funny because it has like 22 likes and he's one of them. What do you mean? He's like and I'm not saying this as to be shady at all, it's just factual. He's like a TikTok singer who is I was about to sing the song. He is known for like a specific song that's like objectively good. And like when I saw him like this one, I was like, first of all, his profile picture, it's not his face. I'm giving you some clues, so I'm not like that bitchy about like gatekeeping his name, you know? His profile picture is not his face. And when I read this name, like the day later, I was like, who's that? He sounds familiar. And I Googled and I was like, no way! And I only decided to gatekeep his name because I've learned that we have the same birthday, September 6th. So the man is a Virgo. When it comes to Virgo men, you have two options. Whether they are amazing, still haven't met one, or they're the most psychotic man that you'll meet. You have Virgo man and Pisces man. Pisces men are more emotional, like danger, because they're like so emotional themselves and stuff. But Virgo men are so psychotic. But I'm not saying that this singer is at all. It's just like out of like Virgo, just because we have the same birthday, let's be for real. And I'm not sharing his name. And also because I only have 22 likes and I'm like, he really felt comfortable liking this. So I'm keeping your secret because him liking this, I was like, ooh, the girls are fighting. He agrees with everything that I said. So when I know that I speak facts, but like when a fellow singer is liking what I said, I can add his like to my sources, you know what I mean? But yeah, Benson, what are you bringing to the table? Truthfully, like everything that you have released by far just confirms that to me. It's not like, what's his name? Alex Warren. Yeah. This guy, you may think that I would be hating him, but I feel like, I don't know how to explain this. I feel like he's adding, even though he started from TikTok And his music, well, first of all, he has fucking good music. Let's be for real. Ordinary, what the fuck? Like, please, I know I always hate man, but like, please, the way Alex Warren treats his now wife, please, this type of love find me. That's what I'm trying to say. And his music is also, yes, technically he came up from TikTok, quote unquote, but like, we already knew his relationship. We saw them grow together. We saw them getting married. We know the backstory, and also his music is pop and with like strong influences of country, and he has a great voice, and like we just want to like be like, oh my god, please god, let us find our Alex Warren. You know what I mean? When it comes to Benson, it's like it's so generic. That's the word that I'm trying to say. Alex, we know who his muse is, and honestly, we don't know who your muse is to think that your music is good. But in the case of Alex, he's bringing something to the table, and he's also like, I'm so out of tune when it comes to country. Like, I don't hate country music. It's not like the genre that I on a random Tuesday want to pull up in my car, you know? Nothing against it though, it's just not in my lifestyle choices. What? All to say, but I feel like also one of the strong things about Alex Warren's music is he kind of brings people who aren't really country listeners, he kind of brings a pop twist into it, and I don't know, I'm super excited to see where his career is going. And he also brings this vibe of like the 2010s, like Bruno Mars, like the love songs and stuff, like the Maroon 5 and Payphone and stuff. Like it's super like, we want that energy. We want like the love songs. We want men who yearn. Do I pronounce this word correctly? I don't know. YEARN, this word, who have this word towards their girlfriend, their wives, their fiance, you know? And Alex Warren brings that to the table. But Benson, oh my god, I almost forgot to talk about the most important thing. One of the most important things. I can only take so many backflips. And for those who don't know, the backflips isn't a recent thing when it comes to like Benson Boone. He has been doing backflips for a long time. Because as I said, I was following his career in the beginning, like Ghost Town and stuff, and he's been doing backflips for like a year, almost and a half now. And I just want to say, first of all, like in the security aspect of it all, why are you doing backflips from like 2 feet tall like distance? What are you doing that? Because you're not thinking of the risk of you getting hurt or of you not landing, and like not only hurting yourself and traumatizing yourself, you're traumatizing your team, your band, and the fans. Like, why are you doing that? Can you have a harness? Can you have like some knee pads or something? Like, can you have a helmet? Like, you know? First of all. Second of all, I kind of spoke a little bit about it, but I have such a problem. I feel like I never like fully let myself express this problem because I know that it makes me angry, but I have such a problem when it comes to fakers, posers. For him to like shamelessly do the same thing as Harry Styles and Freddie Mercury and pretend as if we are not aware. Harry Styles is just taking a little break. Yes, this break has been years, but he will come back. And Freddie, unfortunately, is dead, but his legacy is still up to date. Like, it wasn't that far long ago in music timeline that he was like popping off and like in Queens and stuff. So like for you to shamelessly do that and pretend as if we are not aware, and also for you to adopt this whole aesthetic, and oh my god, now that people are talking about Benson Boone, I feel like they're not talking enough about after the Grammys, I think, when he was wearing this like suit and he like grabbed his balls and stuff like during in live television. That part, people were talking about it, but I feel like they weren't talking about the fact that a week after, for Mark Zuckerberg's birthday, I don't know if it's like the real Benson Boone suit or like an exact copy, but Mark Zuckerberg was wearing like the same suit that Benson was wearing a week prior for his Grammys performance. And Benson was like, oh my god, Mark. Huh? I feel like if it was Katy Perry who did the same thing, y'all would have hated her so fucking much. But when Benson Boone did that, it was a little bit talked about on TikTok, but after 30 minutes, nobody talked about it anymore. And now that people are talking about Benson, nobody brings that up. And I'm like, that's so icky. Why are you proud that a fucking billionaire who has so many problems ethically and stuff, and like I don't want to like this video gets down because I don't know how much power Mark has over YouTube, but like it is so out of touch. Benson, you shouldn't be proud. Or should you? Freedom of speech? I don't know. But it is I'm speechless. And I'm truly speechless. Hold on. Let me take a sip. If you're watching this video, take a sip. Yeah, so for you to be proud of Mark Zuckerberg wearing your suit, and for you to have your whole aesthetic so influenced, like I said multiple times, by Freddie, homeboy Freddie, rest in peace, who was such an important figure when it came to rock music. And I think it's so sad in general how rock music isn't, the essence of it is not as much present as it is today when it comes to like artists who are having a more rock direction, where rock back in the days, it was such a you positioning yourself, you saying, I do not agree with this, this, and this, fuck society, fuck capitalism, fuck the politics that are going on, like everyone has a freedom of speech, and you should feel comfortable, and you shouldn't get judged. And you know, rock was such a statement, and nowadays some artists use it as an aesthetic, and I feel like it is so sad. And for Benson to take such inspiration, and again, there's no essence of it all. Well, his songs aren't inspired by rock. There aren't rock songs, pop rock songs, pop punk. But for you to take such inspiration of such a emblem, I think it's a French word in French, such an important figure of rock, I don't know. It's just be a poser. Benson Boone, we would never hear of Benson Boone if he would have come up in like 2016. Peak of Shawn Mendes, peak of Justin Bieber, peak of The Weeknd, peak of Drake. We would have never heard of Benson Boone, and we only hear about him right now because all these men that I've just cited are not as present as they used to, at least for right now. And I think it's so sad. I think it's so sad, even more knowing that women in pop music, they don't rule by the same criterias. We have seen it with Ed Sheeran. He can fucking do a performance wearing a black t-shirt and black jeans from like Walmart from 5 years ago, and a guitar, and he would have sold out arenas, which is good for him. Like, I'm not judging, but like, if Taylor Swift would have done the same thing, she wouldn't be Taylor Swift. People would have canceled her, saying, oh my god, she is like, she doesn't care, she's not passionate about her music and stuff, and nobody says that about Ed Sheeran. But nowadays, people have kind of woken up and are like, even though you are iconic and you've made some gems and you've made songs that are literally perfect pop songs and stuff, better up your performance, you know? Don't just sing with a guitar for the whole set. And I feel like Benson, if you take his backflips, who is he? You know what I mean? So on that note, I feel like I will end this video here because I don't want to be shady that much. But it is my true opinion. Am I expecting him to change? And like, oh my god, I forgot to mention him coming up on TikTok and saying like, guys, why are you hating on me? Like, please tell me like the things that you are hating me on so I can like better up and be a better singer. First, when I heard that, I was like, oh, that's kind of sweet, truthfully. But then I thought about it and I've seen reactions on TikTok and I'm like, you know what? You've been put in that position. You are, I believe, undeservingly put in such a high position. You have to act like a high up artist. You cannot complain for people to hate on you. Because at the end of the day, you are still being talked about. I am doing you a service, Benson. Joking. Am I? And and I feel like just read the room. Like, why do you take the need to like express it on a TikTok? You know what I mean? And it's like, what? You couldn't handle 2 weeks of being criticized? You know what I mean? If Hailey Bieber would have done the same thing, and she done it, but 4 years after she was married to Justin, she was like, she posted a TikTok and she was like, guys, it's been 4 years. Can we like stop? That's fair. And even Sabrina Carpenter, when she had this whole hate train on her, people who hated on Sabrina, you should feel, you are so lame, first of all. And how embarrassed do you feel now that she's like on top of her career and she's there to stay? You know what I mean? But like, even Sabrina Carpenter was who was like in the lowest in her career when it came to like how the media viewed her, and she never did that. And not that it's a bad thing to like express your feelings and like say like how you can better up yourself, but like, you've almost been given everything on a gold platter, so like on a silver platter, so like, just shut up and stop to backflip. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Make music that's less generic. Tell us more about you, maybe. That will help. If you have nothing to say, hey, it happens. That's what happens when you grew up as a white straight man, privileged and like rich, minimum rich, you know? I feel kind of bad. That was mean. Was it? But on that note, is there hope for Benson to improve truly as an artist? I can see him, not now, but in a couple years, kind of taking the Justin Timberlake route, but that will be bold for him. Not that Justin Timberlake was bold when he was like in his whole mirror and like sexy back era, but he was offering something different, and I love that. But do I think Benson Boone will? Maybe. What would I do if I was Benson Boone's PR? For this era, because his album is really coming up soon, I would give up. Because there's For this era at least, I'm like, I feel like he's done too much. From the album cover, from the fucking backflips, from like the suits, not even suits, the outfit. I'm like, have a talk with Alex Warren, maybe. Have a talk with Harry Styles. I mean, I kind of see Harry Styles never give him the time of day. Not because he's Harry Styles, but because why would he talk with someone who's clearly copying him? You know? And it's like, no, I don't know. I truly would give up. No shade. But if you want my advice for your next era in like 3 years maybe, take the Justin Timberlake route and not the it's going to ruin the world tour route, more in the mirror route, sexy back, Timberland influences. Do that, please. Or don't. And don't stay doing whatever the fuck you're doing in the backflips, and I will continue talking about you, unfortunately or fortunately. Try front flips. I don't... Anyways, I'm gonna go. I hope you have a beautiful night of sleep. I feel so bad. The only reason why I have pity and why I kind of kept my composure is because one of my friends, I don't know if I usually say my friend's name, but for this one, oof, I don't know if she's like publicly able to assume that she's a fan of him, but one of my friends, she's a fan of him. I'm like, that's the only reason why I kept my composure, because I love my friend, and because she loves Benson, I gotta give a minimum respect to Benson. That's the only reason. So on that note, I hope you have a better day than Benson. I hope you have a beautiful night of sleep. Honestly, am I a hypocrite to say that I hate his backflips if it's literally on my 2025 bingo card to learn how to backflip? You know what, Benson? If you teach me how to backflip, I will delete this video. Will I? But in spirit, I will. I will change my mind. Not, I won't, but I will be like open to change. Open to give you more love and sympathy. If you teach me how to backflips. Anyways, have a beautiful night of sleep. I love you. Take care. Au revoir.